Seniors, have you ever laid your head down on the pillow at night, closed your eyes, and thought to yourself, maybe tonight will be different. Maybe tonight I'll actually sleep all the way through, only to find yourself awake again at 2 in the morning with that familiar pressure telling you it's time to get up and go to the bathroom. And then maybe it happens again at 4, and by the time morning comes, you're exhausted before the day even starts. If you're over 60, you've probably heard a dozen explanations for this. Your doctor might have said it's just part of getting older, or that your bladder is shrinking, or that you simply need to accept this as your new normal. But what if I told you that in most cases, the real problem isn't your bladder at all? What if the issue isn't the size or the capacity, but the constant pressure being put on it by muscles that have locked up from years of sitting, from hours in front of the television, from a lifestyle that's left your hips tight and your pelvis rigid? The truth is, when you sit for most of your day, the muscles around your pelvis stop moving the way they're supposed to. They get stiff, they clench up, and that tension acts almost like a clamp around your bladder, tricking your nervous system into thinking you're full when you're really not. This isn't a disease. It's not something broken inside you that can't be fixed. It's a mechanical problem, and mechanical problems have mechanical solutions. You don't need surgery. You probably don't even need more medication. What you need is to release the tension that's been building up in your body for years. And the best part, you can start fixing this tonight. Right now, in the next 10 minutes, we're going to go through a simple routine that's designed specifically for people over 60, a routine that will relax your pelvic floor, calm your nervous system, and help you finally get the kind of deep, uninterrupted sleep you've been missing. So let's begin. The first thing we're going to do is work on decompressing your lower back and releasing a muscle called the psoas, and this is absolutely critical. Lay down flat on your back, and if you need a pillow under your head for comfort, go ahead and use one. Now gently bring your right knee up toward your chest and hold it there with both hands. If your knee feels uncomfortable, you can hold the back of your thigh instead. That works just as well. While you're holding this position, I want to explain what's happening inside your body right now. You're stretching the psoas muscle on the side where your leg is still straight, and the psoas is a deep muscle that runs from your lower spine down to your legs, but it also sits very close to your bladder and your kidneys. When you spend hours sitting, whether it's in the car, at the kitchen table, or on the sofa, that psoas gets short and tight. And when it's tight, it literally takes up space that your bladder needs. It pushes into your bladder, reducing how much it can actually hold, and that's why you feel like you need to go even when there's not much in there. By stretching this muscle now, you're giving your bladder room to expand and fill up the way it's supposed to, without sending those false alarms to your brain. Focus on your breathing while you hold this stretch. Breathe in slowly through your nose, and then exhale even more slowly through your mouth. This slow, controlled exhale does something very important. It activates your vagus nerve, which is like the master switch for your nervous system. When you're stressed or anxious or in pain, your bladder becomes overactive and twitchy. But when you engage the vagus nerve through slow breathing, you're telling your bladder to relax, to hold onto urine instead of constantly trying to push it out. Now let's switch legs. Gently lower your right leg and bring your left knee up toward your chest. As you hold this side, check in with your body. Are your shoulders creeping up toward your ears? Let them drop. Is your jaw clenched? Relax it. There's a direct connection between tension in your jaw and tension in your pelvic floor, so if you're grinding your teeth or holding tightness in your face, you're likely doing the same thing down below. Let it all go. Feel your lower back pressing gently into the floor or the bed, and know that with every breath, you're releasing pressure, you're calming your nervous system, and you're telling your body that it's safe to relax and prepare for sleep. Now bring both feet flat onto the surface with your knees bent, and we're going to move into what's called a reclined butterfly. Gently let your knees fall open to the sides and bring the soles of your feet together. If this feels like too much of a stretch, or if your hips are tight, put a pillow or a cushion under each knee for support. This isn't about how far you can stretch, it's about releasing tension, so meet your body where it is today. What we're working on now are the muscles of your inner thighs, the adductors, And these muscles are often very tight in people over 60 because they've been working hard to help you balance and stay stable. But here's the thing, those adductor muscles attach directly to your pubic bone, and when they're tight, they're constantly pulling on your pelvic floor, creating a background hum of tension that your brain reads as urgency. Place your hands gently on your lower belly and picture your pelvis as a bowl. As you breathe in, imagine that breath traveling all the way down into that bowl and gently expanding it. As you breathe out, imagine the tension melting away, sinking into the floor beneath you. This position also increases blood flow to the organs in your pelvis, and that fresh circulation helps reduce inflammation, which is one of the main reasons people wake up at night to urinate. By calming inflammation before bed, you're reducing the number of times your body will interrupt your sleep. Stay here for a few breaths. What you're doing right now is switching your nervous system from fight or flight mode, which is where most of us live during the day, into rest and digest mode, which is where your body needs to be in order to sleep deeply. You can't force your body to sleep, but you can invite it, and this position is exactly that invitation. Now slowly bring your knees back together using your hands to help if you need to, and we're going to move into something called a lazy figure 4. This is going to work on the nerves, and this part is especially important. Keep your left foot flat on the bed or the floor, and cross your right ankle over your left knee so your legs make a shape like the number 4. Instead of pulling your legs toward you, just use your right hand to gently press your right knee away from you. You should feel this stretch in your outer hip and your buttock. What you're targeting here is a muscle called the piriformis, and this muscle sits right on top of two very important nerves, the sciatic nerve, which you've probably heard of, and the pudendal nerve, which you may not have. The pudendal nerve is the main nerve that controls your bladder and your pelvic floor, and when the piriformis gets tight, it can compress that nerve and send false signals to your brain. Your brain thinks your bladder is full, so you wake up and rush to the bathroom, and then hardly anything comes out. That's not a bladder problem, that's a nerve irritation problem, and this stretch is calming that nerve down. To make this even more effective, try adding a tiny rocking motion from side to side, just an inch or two. This gentle movement is incredibly soothing to your nervous system because it mimics the sensation of being rocked, which your body remembers from infancy as a signal of safety and comfort. Now switch sides. Put your right foot flat and cross your left ankle over your right knee. Press the left knee gently away from you and breathe into that outer hip. As we get older, we lose rotation in our hips, and when that happens, our lower back and our bladder pay the price. By restoring even just a little bit of that rotation every night, you're taking a huge amount of stress off your urinary system, and you're setting yourself up for better, deeper sleep. Bring both feet back flat on the surface, and now we're going to do a pelvic tilt and a gentle bridge to wake up some important muscles. Start with the tilt. Imagine there's a marble sitting on your belly button. Tilt your pelvis backward to roll that marble up toward your chest, which flattens your lower back against the floor. Then tilt it forward, which creates a small arch in your back. Do this a few times, just rolling your pelvis back and forth. You're lubricating the joints in your spine and loosening up the muscles. Now, on the next backward tilt, press down into your heels and lift your hips just a few inches off the ground. You don't need to go high, just enough to feel your buttocks engage. Squeeze gently, hold for 3 seconds, and then lower back down slowly, one vertebra at a time, like you're peeling your spine back onto the surface. Why is this important? Because weak glutes, the muscles in your buttocks, are incredibly common in people over 60, and when your glutes are weak, your pelvic floor has to work overtime to stabilize your body. It becomes exhausted, tight, and overactive. By strengthening your glutes, even just a little bit, you allow your pelvic floor to finally stop gripping and relax. This gentle lifting and lowering motion also helps move stagnant fluid out of your pelvis, which improves circulation and drainage before you go to sleep. And now we come to the most important movement of all, the one that addresses the actual fluid dynamics that cause nighttime urination. This is called the fluid drain, and if you remember nothing else from this, please remember this. During the day, gravity pulls fluid down into your legs and your ankles. You might not even notice the swelling, but it's there. When you lie down to sleep, gravity stops holding that fluid down, and it rushes back into your bloodstream. Your kidneys filter it, and about 90 minutes after you fall asleep, your bladder is full and you wake up. We're going to beat that process by using physics. Elevate your legs. You can put them up against a wall, prop them up on a stack of pillows, or just lift them into the air. Your feet need to be higher than your heart. Now start pumping your ankles. Point your toes toward the ceiling, then flex them hard back toward your face. Do this over and over, vigorously. Point and flex, point and flex. What you're doing is manually activating your calf muscles, and your calves act like a second heart, pumping blood and fluid back up toward your core so your kidneys can process it. By doing this now, before you go to bed, you're forcing your kidneys to deal with that fluid while you're still awake. You'll probably need to use the bathroom one more time before you actually lie down to sleep, but that means you won't be waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning to do it. Do this for at least 60 seconds every night, ideally about an hour before bed. It's simple, it costs nothing, and the impact on your sleep is enormous. Slowly lower your legs now and just lie still for a moment. Feel the difference in your body. Your hips should feel looser, your back should feel flatter, your mind should feel quieter. You've just addressed the muscles, the nerves, and the fluid that were keeping you awake. Now I want to be very clear about something. This routine isn't magic, and it won't fix everything overnight. The tissues in your body didn't get tight in a day, and they won't fully release in a single session. But if you commit to doing this every night for 7 days, you will see a change. Your sleep will improve. You'll wake up less often. You'll feel more rested. And beyond this routine, there are a few other things that can help. Try to stop drinking large amounts of liquid about 2 hours before bed, but don't stop drinking water altogether during the day. Dehydration can actually irritate your bladder and make things worse, so make sure you're hydrating well in the morning and afternoon. Just shift when you're drinking. You now have the tools you need. You understand your body better than you did 10 minutes ago. The question is, will you use this knowledge? Will you take responsibility for your own health and make this small investment of time each night? Because if you do, you're going to sleep better, feel better, and wake up with more energy than you've had in years. Sleep well, breathe deeply, and take good care of yourself.